Once again, there will be timestamps in the description, so remember you can switch to any point of the podcast you want to at any time. Welcome back. This is SNS Talks One Stop Shop Podcast, episode 4. We got me, Stu, Sims, and a special guest today. You've seen him before on the YouTube channel. Introduce yourself.
What's going on? I'm Devin Isaac.
Y'all remember Devin from the NBA video? Everybody knows Devin because everybody who listens to us probably knows us. So today we're going to talk about the college football season that just started, technically Saturday. So what we're going to do, we're going to give a few predictions, different types of predictions, maybe like a Heisman, maybe who we think is going to be in the playoff. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Sims, you ain't said anything. You want to say something?
Yeah, episode 4.
All right. So let's start it off. Let's do Heisman first. Who y'all think's winning the Heisman?
I got Trevor Lawrence all the way. I mean, no doubt about it. Why? The kid coming back from taking his team to a national championship as a freshman, and I mean, going up against Alabama's defense, put up the numbers he did, and the way he was cool under pressure, didn't seem bothered really at all. He's next level. I'm telling you, he's gonna make a big money when he goes to the NFL. But right, I'm telling you, next year he's a Heisman winner for sure. The numbers he's gonna put up next year are gonna be unbelievable.
I agree. His numbers are gonna be crazy, but he's gonna do the same thing he did last year, right? Basically, he put all his numbers last year.
Yeah, but he did it as a freshman. Now that he's seen like legit defense and been through all the blitzes that Alabama can throw at him and stuff like that, and seeing that and knowing he's just like prepared more for that, and he's seen his first year of college football, it's going to be crazy what he can do next year. Like legit crazy.
So you think it's a runaway for Trevor?
Oh, absolutely. In my opinion, yes. I think the person that might come closest is that quarterback from Texas, and I just don't see it being close at all between them two. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know I knew him, did you?
I didn't think he did, man. I wasn't prepared there. I figured you say some kid from Tennessee nobody's heard of.
No. I went for Jalen.
You went for Jalen in Oklahoma.
Yeah, mainly.
Wait, well, say the man's full name for everybody who don't know who you're talking about. I mean, I'm sure people do.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, yeah, we just go ahead.
The past 2 Heisman quarterbacks from Oklahoma. I think it'd be cool to have 3 in a row.
But he's not a Baker Mayfield, and he's definitely not a Kyler Murray. I just
but that offensive fault. The coach, what's his name? Whatever his name is. Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
He'll get him right. And Jalen already took a team to a national title, so it's not like he can't do that.
Yeah, he couldn't to a national title, but then got a spot took him. We saw what happened in that national title. He folded.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Lincoln's going to get him right. Plus, he's fresh off I wouldn't say great season, but that great game he had in the great hat, probably. Just like a hat, but yeah. So that's why we need some big confidence. And it's going to be you need a good story for Heisman too, and that's a bunch of good story going right there. You left Alabama, you won the game for him, and you go to Oklahoma, who just had 2 more. I'm going Jalen.
All right.
Who you got, Stuart?
y'all gonna hear a bunch of repetitive answers out of me tonight, but that's okay because everybody already knows it's gonna be Jake Fromm. All right. Okay.
Man.
Not Jake Fromm. All right. Pick a backup. Okay. DeAndre Swift. Either one. From Georgia. Let me tell you why. Because I know all you hear me is Georgia, Georgia, Georgia. I always talk about Georgia. This is the year, ladies and gentlemen. This is the year. This is the year for. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there. But this is the year for the Heisman as well. Whether it be Swift, whether it be Fromm, whether it be either one, let me tell you what. They're already projecting Fromm. He's one of the top of the projected as the Heisman. Swift's in there too. Dude is going to put up with the receiving core the Bulldogs have this year. With the receiving core, it is crazy. It is insane. Probably one of the best receiving cores we've had at one time. And we've had some good receivers.
Clemson's receiving core is just as good, man.
But
Justin Ross comes back after having a breakout game in the national championship game. I mean, that breakout season really is the freshman.
Georgia's got that defense to stop any other receiving core, though. I'm telling you.
In my opinion, honestly, Jake Fromm has a better chance than Jalen Hurts does.
I think it's going to be, if they don't want to give it to Fromm, they can give it to Swift because Swift is projected to be the number one running back in the country this year. So it's either one right there.
Running back. Go ahead.
No, it'll be Fromm or Swift. That's all I got.
That running back from Wisconsin, no joke either.
I don't know. What's his name?
I was just reading about him yesterday. He's let me find his name. They're talking about him being the next guy. Next guy to be what's Melvin Gordon? You know what I'm talking about? Melvin Gordon was at Wisconsin.
I don't remember him at Wisconsin. I just in the NFL.
Jonathan Taylor.
I've heard that.
That's what you're talking about.
For the Georgia one, I don't know about Fromm because I hear you say a lot that Georgia is a running back school. You're always saying how we always have the top. We as in like what you say. We always have the top running backs. So I don't know like how good a chance somebody has if you're not known as for passing. And then I don't know how good either of them have a chance of if they're both fighting for the Heisman. And for Trevor, they're going to be a passing school. So,
well, I think one or the other. Because Fromm's projected at the top too. He has just as good as passing numbers as anybody else. We're not just solely running. I mean, we have a good mix. We got Jake Fromm for a reason.
He's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. But with Georgia, you see, when you think of Georgia offense, I look back at Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Noshawn Marino, Herschel Walker, and it's all been legit running backs that have really come on the scene with Georgia and that have made moves with Georgia. And you got Matthew Stafford, of course, but I always think of this running backs when I hear Georgia offense. That's the first thing I think about is just running backs because they run that pro. They run a lot of pro. It's such a run heavy offense. He's good.
All right, so let's switch it over to who we think, not who we want or who we choose, but who we think is going to be in the playoff in the top four positions.
Who wants to go first?
One of y'all got it. Y'all go ahead.
Sure, you go. And you start off as Stuart got it since he volunteered other people.
All right, fine. So, what you're looking at right now in this preseason standings? What you got? You got Clemson 1, Alabama 2, Georgia 3. Who's 4? Who's
I didn't.
Anybody know who's after Georgia? I can look it up if I just forgot.
I think it's Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and I think it's Oklahoma.
I think it's Oklahoma and Ohio State are back to back. I think they're 5 and 6.
I want to say it's Oklahoma, but I can be sure for sure right now when I look it up.
All right.
But
I got it right here. It is. Yeah, it's Oklahoma. Okay. And then Ohio State, LSU, Michigan, Florida, Notre Dame, Texas. So.
Man, go ahead, dude.
Okay. Any of these teams, of course, don't play. These guys don't play each other in the regular season, so they could all go undefeated. They never touch each other until playoff time. So here's how it's going to stand. I want it to be Clemson 1, Alabama 2.
Well, I thought we were doing who we think, not who we want.
No, okay. This is who I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just saying how I exactly expect to see it set up. I expect to see Clemson 1, Alabama 2, Georgia 3, and I don't think 4 is going to stay. So let me just put. I don't think, and no, this is not just me hating on Fields for leaving Georgia because he was not that smart for doing that, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to lead his team past those other teams in the Big Ten. So I'm going to say Michigan gets the 4th spot, and that would leave 1 plays 3 and 2 plays 4, right? Or does 1 play 4 and 2 play 3?
One plays 4.
Okay. So if that's the case, all these teams undefeated. Okay?
How are they undefeated?
I don't think Alabama and Georgia can go undefeated. One of them got to play each other in the SEC championship.
That's right. Okay, that's what I was trying to think about before. Okay. Yeah, that's what I got mixed up on. Okay. So Georgia plays Alabama in the SEC championship. Regardless if one of them loses, they're still probably going in the playoff, especially if they haven't been touched the rest of the season. So whichever one wins, I'm going to put Georgia over. Georgia will go 2. It'll be Clemson 1, Georgia 2, Alabama. Michigan 3 and Alabama 4. Say that again.
Alabama loses, dude. If Alabama loses, Oklahoma will go undefeated, and Ohio State will go undefeated. I don't see Alabama losing or going to the playoffs if they lose the SEC championship game to Georgia. I don't see it happening.
You don't think so?
Oklahoma and Ohio State will both go undefeated.
Even if they're 2 versus 3? Because I think they'll still put them in. Because they've done that before. I think.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's going to be.
Both of the teams, Oklahoma and Ohio State, have both been consistently at the top for the past 4 years. For the past 3 years, they've been doing for 4 years. However long they've been doing college football playoffs, they've been at the top consistently, just like Alabama has. Not at the top 1 or top 2, but they've been in the running or in the race for a playoff spot consistently all 4 years. So they go undefeated. Alabama loses in the SEC championship game to Georgia, or vice versa. I don't see either Georgia or Alabama being in it after losing that SEC championship game.
Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep it in case. I'm gonna say Clemson 1, Georgia 2, Michigan 3, Alabama 4, which puts Georgia against Michigan, and Georgia kills them, and then Clemson beats Alabama. So that leaves Georgia and Clemson in the finale, with Georgia being.
You put Michigan at 4.
Yeah.
No,
Clemson
I switched it because the only team with the 1 loss that would still be, I think they would still put Alabama after losing to Georgia. So I think they would still put them in it, which would make them number 4 because they would be the one with the 1 loss.
You taking Michigan over Oklahoma and Ohio State both?
Yeah, because Justin Fields is not going to be good enough with Ohio State year 1 to take off some of them other teams. It's like Justin Fields is good, and I'm not just saying this because he left Georgia. He is not going to come in his first full starting year and beat some of these other big teams. He's not going to do it. He couldn't have done it with Georgia. He wants to play, and he thinks he can be the top guy, but he's not at that level yet. And he's going to be their starter. So I say Clemson 1, Georgia 2, Michigan 3, Alabama 4, which puts number 2 Georgia versus number 3 Michigan. Georgia beats them. Clemson beats Alabama. Clemson and Georgia meet in the championship. And Georgia the whole time is the underdog. I want to be the underdog. And then Georgia beats Clemson in the championship. That's how it's going. All right, that's it. I'm done.
That's how it's going for you. All right, here's mine here. Mine going into the playoffs is going to be...
Wait, just to clarify, this is the one that you think is going to happen?
Yeah, this is
what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Clemson goes in as the 1. Clemson goes undefeated, wins the ACC championship game, goes in and wins. Georgia wins the ACC championship game against Alabama. They go 2. I say Oklahoma goes undefeated at 3, and I put Alabama at 4. So Georgia plays Alabama.
Wait, how do you just said they're not putting Bama in if they lose?
Yeah, that is true. I forgot about that. They lose. I say it's Clemson, Georgia. I say Oklahoma 3, and I'm gonna just pull this one out. Actually, you know what? They can't do that either. I say it's Clemson 1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3, and out of nowhere, Texas beats Oklahoma and LSU this season and makes it to 4.
Oh, that's a stretch. All right.
Texas, dude, I'm telling you, that quarterback for Texas is an animal. He's crazy. But so Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and Texas. I say Georgia beats Texas, or Clemson beats Texas, Georgia beats Ohio State, and I say Clemson beats Georgia by 21 points in the national championship game. And I'm a diehard Georgia fan, but Clemson beats Georgia by 21 points in the final game, championship game. I say Clemson beats everybody to almost 21 this year, honestly.
That's probably going to happen. Beating everybody by 21.
Alrighty. Sims?
Yeah, so I got Clemson undefeated the whole time. They'll be 1. For 3, I got Oklahoma. 4, I got Ohio State. And for 2, I wasn't going to have both Georgia and Alabama in there, but not saying this because I don't like them, but last year Georgia slipped up and took an L when they really couldn't afford one in the regular season.
Absolutely.
Once you take that one L, like they were already going to give it to them if they only lost in the SEC championship.
Absolutely, they were.
That extra L messed them up, so they had to win then, and they didn't, so they didn't make it. So I think this year, I don't see them going undefeated in the regular season. I can see them slipping up somewhere, just like last year. It happened last year, it happened again. And then I see them going to the SEC championship probably, but then I think Bama's going to beat them again.
So who was your 4? Go from 1 through 4?
Clemson, Bama, Oklahoma, Ohio State.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Clemson beats Ohio State. Bama, Bama beats Oklahoma. Clemson beats Bama. And for the Ohio State one, I know you're saying you're not being biased, Stuart, but I can hear the bias to hear you talk about Justin Fields now compared to when you were talking about him when he was on your team. Like there's definitely some bias there.
I will say,
get the job done.
I will say, of course I was high on him when he was at Georgia, of course, because he's a Bulldog. I'm never gonna say I hate a Bulldog, but I never expected him to come in and start over from. I never expected to do that his second
I'm
year.
not saying you push. I'm saying the way you're talking about him is different.
What I do, he did disrespect us because he's mad that he's not getting playing time when he don't deserve it. So, I mean, now that he's left and he's going to, pitch a fit, yeah, I do have some bias toward him now. Because, he pitched a fit.
I think he's too immature. I think he's too immature
to lead a team. And that's why I think Ohio State's going to flop. Because
I think he's a little insecure, and his insecurity is going to force him into doing a lot of stupid things on the football field. Force passes he shouldn't force and stuff like that.
I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder trying to prove people.
Yeah, and I think that's going to cause him to make mistakes.
Because I'm not just being biased against...
You can have a chip on your shoulder. I'm pretty sure Baker had a whole chip on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. There's some chips and then there's some times that he acted the way he shouldn't have acted off the field instead of on it. Like against Oklahoma or against Kansas when he did all those things and then slammed the flag down against Ohio State.
You like that?
Oh, I did. I loved it, but
exactly.
NFL scouts hate that.
Yeah, look at him now.
Well.
I mean, yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm happy. I love watching that. That was awesome for me. Yeah. But I think the stupid mistakes Justin Fields is going to make is going to be on the field this time, forcing passes and scrambling when he doesn't need to scramble yet and stuff like that. But I just feel like he's just too immature right now. But I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's real good. But I just think he's too immature right now to lead a team to a national championship or even a playoffs right now.
But I'm not biased against every former Bulldog because I mean Jacob Eason this year is playing for Washington and I don't hate him. I just think that
that's another Washington.
I just think Fields is being. I just think Fields.
When you go to my other side, you'll see that.
He's just whining. I think Fields is just whiny and thinks that he deserves something that he doesn't yet. So who did you had Clemson going over Ohio State? What was your other one?
Bama and Oklahoma.
Okay.
Bama beat Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
I wanted to say Oklahoma does, so Jalen can get that revenge, but that's not.
So who wins the title?
Clemson.
Okay.
Clemson, this season's a wrap.
So now we're going.
I'm telling you, they're going to beat everybody by 21. I'm telling you, you watch and see.
Do they have a wide receiver quarterback combo that were both freshmen?
It's great. T. Higgins, Justin Ross. This is unbelievable.
I have never seen something like that.
Y'all seen Desmond Howard?
Boy, Trevor was dotting them up. Oh my God!
Desmond Howard.
I assume he's a Georgia player.
No, Desmond.
No, Desmond Howard played at Michigan. He won a Heisman at Michigan.
Was this the one that picked Georgia
on the game day panel? He picked Georgia over Clemson in the championship. So hey, shout out to Desmond.
I'm a huge diehard Georgia fan. I just do not see that happen.
I want Georgia to come in as the underdog. I don't want us to hit number one anytime during this season. I want us to be an underdog until that day, and then I want to just prove people wrong. But all right, so that leads us to who do we want? If we had any four we could choose, who do we choose in the playoff?
Any four that I could choose?
Yeah, and not who you think will be in the playoff. Who, if you could just have any team have an amazing season, any four, who would you have in the playoff then?
Georgia at number one. Oregon somehow, some way, make it to number two with Justin Herbert at quarterback. Don't see it happening, but Oregon at number two, Michigan at number three, and I want to see Texas back in the college national championship game. I want to see Texas back in there. I say Georgia beating Clemson at 3, Texas beating Oregon at 2, and Georgia and Texas playing in the national championship game.
Okay.
Georgia and Texas played in that bowl game, didn't they?
I was just about to say that. I thought that just happened.
Yeah, but-
Georgia got beat because 95% of the players didn't play.
Yeah, and we didn't.
I want to see them play in the national championship game and see how bad Georgia beats them.
Yeah, I don't think Georgia cared about that game either. I really don't think we cared about that Sugar Bowl at all, because we had already been passed over for the playoff, and we did not care about that Sugar Bowl.
Not at all.
Okay, so Sims, yeah, we already know where this is going.
Repeat 2 years. I heard Georgia and Texas, and I got caught.
Texas, Oregon, and Clemson.
Or I should have named Oregon. Yeah, okay. Oregon's ranked kind of high. They came out of nowhere this year.
Yeah, Oregon's at 7, I think.
11. 11.
11. They not that they were trash, but like the level they were at a couple years ago, I didn't think they were there.
Oh, dude, with Marcus Mariota, and they go to that, and Marcus Mariota had a chance to win the national championship game against Ohio State and couldn't do it.
Like Zeke.
Yeah, it was Zeke and J.T. Barrett, receiver, with Denzel Ward at corner.
If Cardell Jones can get to a national championship, I'm pretty sure Justin Fields could take it.
Sims, what's
I think Cardell Jones has got a big arm.
What's your
It
first?
wasn't Cardell Jones there that year. It was J.T. Barrett.
It wasn't?
Yeah, it was J.T. Barrett that won it that year. Cardell Jones was the year after they won it. Because they didn't make the playoffs that year.
Oh. Never.
That was when Oregon beat the brakes off of Florida State at the Rose Bowl. Jameis Winston threw it backwards.
I remember that.
So who you got, James? Who's the 4 you want?
Clemson again. Tennessee.
So-
UCF.
So that would be Tennessee being 3, or what's their rank?
I mean, Georgia or Alabama 1's not going to be in the playoff.
Wait, what's the question?
4 you want.
In order to have, were you just saying like these in order, or were you saying the first round matchups?
No, these are in order.
Okay, so 1, 2. Okay, go ahead.
Clemson, Tennessee, UCF, and Washington.
Okay.
I got UCF in there because they were on like that win streak, and then the quarterback got hurt. So I think it should have played.
That team that played was Georgia Tech that year. That they, I think Georgia Tech would have gone down there and beat them if that hurricane wouldn't have came through. That big, huge win streak they had. They didn't even play Georgia Tech. They got a win call for that. Like they won that game because they didn't play Georgia Tech. So they went undefeated that year. But I think it would have been different if Georgia Tech would have played them. Honestly,
they were undefeated for like more than a year. Like they were already undefeated for like from something else too. Like was it last year they were still undefeated and they went undefeated?
No, they got beat last year.
No, not last year. The year before that they went undefeated.
Yeah, it was 2 years
Like
later. The year before they didn't play Georgia Tech, and the year before that they didn't. I don't think they played. I think the best team they played was like Toledo or something like that.
Yeah, so like they were on that streak. So I just think it'd be cool to see them in there because what was the other game we had? Clemson versus Notre Dame. Is that who made it?
No, you said Washington.
Yes, it was Clemson and Notre Dame.
Oh, never mind.
Last year.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I mean, and Clemson blew them out. So I would have loved to see UCF there instead of Notre Dame. I just wasted my time. At least I could have seen like their story come to fruition. And Washington, because Jacob Eason is a dog. That dude is a cannon.
He is a dog. Dude, Washington's defense is a dog. What do you say? The whole defenses are dogs.
Oh, well, good, because Eason got an arm. I think this man cannon. And he's close. So
he's good, too. Yeah, he's good. But Washington's defense is going to be the best defense. Washington and Georgia are going to have the 2 best defenses in the country this year.
let me say this about Eason. It's not that Georgia wasn't high on him. He got hurt in that game, and Fromm came in and did amazing, and just Eason could not get his spot back. Fromm just had it from then on. And I felt really bad for Eason. And, I didn't blame him for leaving because he got hurt and Fromm came in, and that was literally you can compare it to somebody else, but like Fromm, he won it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fromm won it straight up. And Eason just never got that chance to go back in. So I'm not mad at him for going. I still think he's a great player.
I didn't say anything about Georgia that time for Eason.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I know. I wanted to make that mention about Eason. Why he didn't play at Georgia? It's because Fromm just, when he got hurt, Fromm just won that position, and it was over from then. It was over.
What y'all think about the Florida Miami game?
That was the worst college football game I've ever seen on planet Earth.
I've never seen a line worse than that in my entire life.
Oh, dude, Miami's line cost them that football game.
They had 24 penalties. Florida had 5 fumbles, and then Miami still almost won the game. That's how bad it was.
It was bad, and it was fun to watch.
Granted, Miami's offensive line was, and as many penalties they had, Florida should have beaten by 25. If anybody thinks Florida's going to be ranked at the end of the season, you've lost your mind.
I don't know what their quarterback was doing at the end of it. He threw it straight to Miami.
I know. And Miami's quarterback, though, I was impressed. Coming there as a true freshman, starting over Tate Hill. Dude's good. Dude's really good.
He didn't get rid of the ball. He held on to it too long.
Well, it's a true freshman.
Yeah, but after the first 3 times, get rid of the ball or go down. Your line is terrible.
So
yeah, I know, but one of the big things, he's got to try to make something work. He ain't got enough time to let the play develop.
So, Sims, finish out your top 4.
I did. I said all 4.
So, who do you have winning it?
Well, in order for Tennessee to make it, and Bama not to make it, we have to go undefeated. So that would put us at the 2 spot. And Clemson's at 1. We'll put. I do not want to face Washington. We'll face UCF and Washington West 4th spot. And we'll beat UCF. And Clemson will beat Washington. And Clemson or Battle of Orange. I'll probably say Tennessee.
Okay. So, you want to talk about some bias, Sims? I'm about to give you some bias. Okay. Here's how it goes. I won.
You're more biased after the one that you thought was going to win is your team already.
Yeah, knowing they got to play Clemson.
Well, wait about this. No, there is. 1, Clemson. 2, Georgia. Both of those are undefeated. 3, Ohio State, undefeated. 4, UCF, undefeated. Now, why, Stuart, would you put those teams in there? 1, I want Georgia to play Ohio State. And I want Georgia to beat Justin Fields by 45 points. I don't want him to score a touchdown on us. I don't want him to get a yard. I want him to have negative 120 yards at the end of the game. Why UCF? Because this UCF team was whining and complaining about, oh, we went undefeated, we should be in the playoff. Anybody they played in the playoff would have beat them into another division. They would have been Division 2 at the end of that. They would have had to drop a division. They would have lost so bad. So, Clemson can have a feast. Right. Clemson could have been They could have been eating UCF. Georgia could have been eating Ohio State. And then Georgia and Clemson, of course, Georgia wins. So you want to talk about some bias. There's your some bias. But that's what I would like to see. So I got one more thing before we wrap it up. The Power Five conferences. Who do you think is going to win each conference in each Power Five conference? Which team wins each conference?
Go ahead, James. Okay. I don't know the conferences like that. So
You don't know the Power Five? Do you need us to go first so you can get the Power Five?
You can just tell me who's in the Big Ten. In the Big Ten.
Oh, okay.
ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12.
No. Who is in the Big Ten?
Oh, you need to know them.
Big 10, you got Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, already got an answer. Ohio State.
Okay.
Yeah, Michigan's known for that deal.
So you know ACC and SEC. You know those two.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's your two there?
Well, Clemson and Bama already have them in the thing already.
Okay. All right.
Who's in what's another one? Big 12?
Yeah, Big 12.
That's Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Who went there? That one dude went there. I forgot his name. Who got Oklahoma? The Pac-12.
You got Oregon. You got Washington. You got.
Oh, you ain't UCLA?
Washington's in Pac-12 as well.
Yeah, Washington, Oregon.
I'll take Washington. Here's mine. Ohio State, Clemson,
Okay.
Bama, Oklahoma, Washington.
Okay. Devin?
All right. I got Georgia winning SEC. I think they come back and get their revenge and get their SEC championship that they deserve. Clemson takes ACC by a long shot. Big 12, I got Texas winning the Big 12 this year. And Pac-12, Oregon beats Washington in the Pac-12 championship game. And we got Big 10.
Yeah.
I'd say Michigan beats Ohio State in the Big 10 conference championship game.
Michigan.
I think Jim Harbaugh gets them a win against Ohio State.
For the first time in how long?
Yeah, you ain't telling me nothing. I don't know. I've been waiting on it for, 5 years now? Every year it's supposed to be Michigan year. Like I say,
I heard they were supposed to be there last year. Who they lose to bad last year?
Michigan State. They got beat on Michigan State.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess
hard being trying to root for Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, true. Because I pretty much hate almost every Big Ten team. But if I'm going off what I had on my playoff, Michigan wins Big Ten. Washington wins Pac-12. Oklahoma wins Big 12. Clemson, ACC. Georgia, of course, SEC.
Okay, this is something that you had said, Devin. You said Georgia gets the SEC championship that they deserve.
They deserve that, man. They deserve it. We didn't have one in so long. They deserve one.
So you're not referencing this past SEC championship game. You're just saying So you don't think Bama deserved to win that?
Dude, golly, that fake punt. The fake punt. What are we doing with that fake punt?
Yeah, I
threw up watching it. Literally almost threw up watching it.
I specifically remember. I think I threw a door or my shoe at the door and dented our door. And
dude, I was so sick to my stomach for watching that fake punt.
Wait, but y'all weren't winning when y'all did that fake punt, though, were you?
It was tied. It was tied.
So y'all
we were up. We were up. We were up by 3 on their end.
Yeah.
No, because there's no. I swear y'all were not up.
It was either tied or we were up. Yeah, because all we had to do was punt it and play defense.
Yeah,
He's the best linebacker in the National Football League. Literally, he's the National Football League. Roquan Smith almost led the NFL in tackles. Led the Chicago Bears best defense in the NFL in tackles. I don't know what was going on.
Well, we will.
Yeah, well, I got one more. Was there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any team that nobody mentioned yet, or like a team that you haven't mentioned that you liked, or that you'd like to see a season from? And the score was 28 all.
But why don't we talk about the guy that's from Adairsville that's playing in college football? Yeah, it's not a big college team, but being the MAC freshman of the year, winning the MAC championship game last year.
Right. Oh, Marcus.
Let's see him repeat it. I want to see him repeat that. That's what I want to see next year.
Right. Shout out to Adairsville.
I want to see. Say what?
I said shout out to Adairsville. Shout out Vic.
Absolutely. I want to see Marcus do good this year. Marcus and the NIU, and I want to see Auburn. I want to see Auburn beat Alabama this year. I know it's not gonna happen, but I want to see it. That field goal return for a touchdown. I want to see Alabama get beat by Auburn.
So Auburn and NIU.
So these were teams that you said. I didn't really hear the question. I missed the question.
I said just teams that you liked that you hadn't mentioned yet. You want to see have a good season.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I mean, NIU, of course, Marcus is.
So that was your two. Okay.
I think you don't have enough, Stuart.
No, I do. You go ahead though.
Oh, mine's Georgia Tech. Love to see a good season
from Georgia Tech. Yeah. Shout out to my buddy starting center for Georgia Tech, Kenny Cooper. From Snorville, actually. He's from Snorville. They're actually running a new offense too this year, so we don't got to get bored watching their football games.
Yeah, I'm happy for all the diehard Georgia Tech fans.
They needed a coach, man. They needed it bad, and they got it. Especially after my dad. I mean,
I bet
you that cannot wait till this year.
It just ain't gonna work against Georgia. That's all I'm gonna say. They can beat everybody else that they want, just not Georgia.
Hey, that's my team. You got one, Stuart?
I was gonna do one more Adairsville dude. I don't know if he graduated. Georgia State, is DeAndre still there?
No, he's graduated.
Okay, I thought he graduated, but I'll go ahead and give him a good season because they actually had a pretty good run last year. With him, his senior year, because I was kind of following them. They actually didn't do too bad.
He actually went to the Jacksonville Jaguars for trial.
Yeah, so I'll say I'll give it to them, or really just like I'll tell you a team to look out for.
Georgia Southern win a football game.
I'll tell you a team to look out for real. Georgia last year, and I mean it was a really small school, so we were playing like a few backups, but they had a Appalachian State. They had a quarterback and a running back who was like freaking amazing. And they got like, I don't know, I think one of them might have went to the NFL, but keep a lookout for them if you want to talk about some little teams. App State. But
I know that it's kind of against the rules of a Georgia fan. And honestly, I want to see Tennessee have a good year. I want to see them have a good year. I want to see them have a good year. I want to see the kids from Cartersville, Jackson Lowe, go out there and do something good. We got Tennessee right there. Coming from having a Peyton Manning to, I mean, I can't tell you the last time they were really actually like a contender for.
Stop. A couple years ago, we were kind of fun.
Okay. Okay.
I want to see him be good this year. I want to see the Georgia Tennessee rivalry that were once a thing.
Jeremy's building us back up. You got to give him some time to make the foundation work.
I'll say this.
I get that. I mean, I understand that. I want to see it happen. I want to see Tennessee be good again.
I'll say this, but it's
kind of James. I'm saying something good about your team, and never hear dogging me for it.
It's
because you disrespected dogs. I don't like to disrespect the dogs like that.
Like he didn't beat Georgia.
Yeah, dog. He beat Georgia. They beat Georgia, was it 3 years ago?
2 years in a row.
Yeah, was it 3 years ago though?
Something like that. 3 years, 4 years. I'm not saying 3 or 4 years in the national championship because we lost too many games to do that, but we were like respectable and good. We weren't at that like Peyton Manning, T. Martin level, but
yeah, of course not. I want to see y'all good again. Is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say I want to see good Tennessee football. I want to hear people screaming Rocky Top. Because I mean, I like Tennessee. We're going to scream it regardless. Tennessee. I like Tennessee in general. I like going to Tennessee football games. I don't know, man. I just want to see Tennessee be better. How about that? I want to see Tennessee be better.
I might as well just not because like it's kind of sadistic in this way, but I'll say it anyways. It looks really good when all the SEC teams are good because if Georgia can beat everybody, if all SEC teams do good, but then Georgia still continues to beat them all, that makes Georgia look even better. So that's kind of sadistic to say, but
I'm telling you right now, for the next however long we do college playoffs, there will be one SEC team in every college playoff. Whether it be Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee if they get better, Auburn if they get better. But there will be one SEC team in the college playoffs every year. It's the hardest conference to play in. It's got the best recruits. ACC used to be really good, but right now there's nobody touching SEC.
I will say one dude to look out for on Georgia this year, and this will be my last rant about them. His name is Zamir White. Zeus. They call him Zeus. Now, he was a freshman last year, but we redshirted him because he tore his ACL. Didn't get to play. If you just go look at pictures of this man, he is a freaking monster. Zamir White, his name's Zeus. Go look him up because we rotate. We don't do like one, we rotate our running backs like crazy. He's going to be playing a lot this year. He's a freaking monster. So just watch out for him. Watch out for him. His name's Zeus. Number 3.
All right, one more thing before, I guess, if y'all don't mind. What do y'all predict for the Falcons season?
The Falcons?
Yep.
I'd like to see Vic break the sack record because he got so close that year.
Hey, how about Vic in the preseason looking like a completely different player than last year?
You know what? He wasn't bad last year at all. He just needs some help on that other side. He gets double teamed.
He turned it up a little bit, it looks like, in the preseason. He's got better hands. He's faster off the ball. I'm excited to see what he does this year, honestly.
I think he's always been great. He just gets double teamed, and there's no help on that right side. So if he had someone of his caliber on that right side, it would be lights out for any QB.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see Neal back there, safety Connie Neal.
Yeah, our defense got hurt last year. Our whole defense was hurt.
Deion Jones is back too.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything out of Sims though, because he hates all Georgia teams.
Oh, I know James is not a Falcons fan. I know it.
I haven't dogged Georgia once this entire time.
I will say, I've only sent one shot your way at Tennessee. I've only sent one shot. Because Sims had said...
I even praised Tennessee. I wanted Tennessee to be good.
Sims said that he posted something a few weeks ago saying that they're going to start having alcohol sales at their games. And I said that's so... I said that's so all their fans can get... That's for all their fans to get drunk so they can't see how bad they're losing. That's the only shot that I sent his way. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, that was good. That's all right, Dan. I'll go to Tennessee games with you if you want.
I think more than that.
Yeah, dude, I'll scream Rocky Top even though I'm a Georgia fan. I love the song. Starters, and I like Tennessee. I like Tennessee colorway too. I love the orange and white.
Like if you want to go to a game, you just go ahead and come to the basketball game. Because if it ain't on your football, you just head on over to play basketball.
Hey, I've seen 4 years ago. I went to watch the ACC championship. I watched the whole tournament, like the whole tournament they did. I watched Tennessee, not ACC or SEC tournament. They did. They played in Atlanta one year. I watched Georgia. I watched Tennessee, and then I went to the ACC championship game that year as well. But Tennessee's fun to watch.
Hey, with Georgia, with Edwards coming to the basketball team, I'm excited for that. I think that dude's going to be a stud.
Dude, I'm not going to know what's going on college basketball. I couldn't even tell you what's going on college basketball.
Well, we'll revisit this later on in the season and at the end of the season to see who's.
We need to get together and do an NFL one too.
Yeah, to see who's the most accurate, because we all have our predictions, so somebody's got to be the most accurate at the end. But we'll revisit it for sure. Any last comments on the football subject?
Appreciate y'all for having me on. Enjoy talking to y'all about sports in general, especially y'all.
Yeah, we'll do it again. So now we're going to get a little bit into some wrestling talk. We got a big weekend, August 31st. The three best companies, NXT, which is not a part of WWE, NJPW and AEW. AEW's got All Out. We're going to be giving some predictions like we have for the other pay-per-views. We're going to be giving all-out predictions. NJPW will be at the Copper Box. I cannot watch it because I'm not done with the G1. I'll mention the G1 in a second. And NXT UK Cardiff. So 3 shows, 1 night, 3 best companies. I mean, NXT UK, not as good as NXT, but it's still NXT. So, we'll put it up there. We'll give it a pass. I'm sure, and the first takeover was amazing. So, anyways, G1, I wanted to make a few mentions. I'm on day 8. I've seen my favorite 2 matches thus far, Kota and Ospreay, or either Ospreay and Okada. Those 2 matches were insane. Those matches were crazy. You remember those matches? Sims is done with the G1.
Ospreay Okada.
And
yeah, I remember that was like the first banger, I think.
Yeah, no, Kota Ospreay too.
I didn't like that one as much as Okada Ospreay.
I thought they were both just amazing, but I was gonna say, I had an epiphany. I had a little I had an idea. We say that Kenny, Okada, and Ospreay are the 3 best in the world right now, right? We agree on.
I'm saying Okada.
Yeah, we just talked about how Ospreay is up there too.
Yeah, Kenny got to prove it to me again. But I just
Kenny's still up there.
I'm saying it's not tied.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. But I think somebody else might be there.
Who?
Kota. I think Kota might be there. You don't think so? You don't think he's close? I think he's close.
I think you can put a bunch of people that are just right a nick below.
Yeah, that's
Coda's
true.
Coda's right a nick below, but you gotta pass Okada. Being close is
Mm-hmm.
you gotta pass him. He might be you pass him or you didn't.
I think before Kenny was wrestling, when Kenny was still in New Japan, I think they were tied. And Ospreay has come up on the scene I'm talking like Ospreay is one of the best in the world. And I think those three definitely, but I think Coda's inching his way in. I think he's going to get there. Give him another title run of some kind. You know, I don't know. One more thing I wanted to mention about NJPW. You know how there's play-by-play and there's color commentators?
Yeah.
New Japan has a third. They have like an analysis guy, which would be Chris. Nobody else has like the stats guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris can tell a story. He was talking about the other day how Shingo and John Moxley used to be in a faction in Dragon Gate. Like, what? This man is coming. I don't know how he knows this stuff. But Chris is like the third commentator. He's like the analyst, the stats guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Chris is great.
It's not the booth never gets crowded with too many people with him there because he doesn't talk the whole time like the other guys do.
Yeah, unless he has to just give you something that you...
He gets his parts in and that's it.
Yeah. And one more thing. Which one... I know you like to watch some of them live. So, do you plan on... If you plan on watching one live Saturday, are you going to try to switch around? Or... I know they're not on at the same time, all of them, but which one would you not miss live out of the three? Like, if you had to sacrifice the other two live, which one are you watching live?
I'm watching AEW, but it doesn't even come down to that. Not because they don't even come out at the same time, but I haven't been able to find the Super J Cup online anywhere.
Okay.
So I'm not caught up, so I can't even watch Copper Box that day.
Oh, okay. And Cardiff? Cardiff's just at the end?
For the reason why, well, obviously, I'm using AEW. But
yeah,
Cardiff, they come on at 3 p.m. So that don't even interfere with nothing.
The biggest show I would say Saturday is going to be All Out because they're projecting it as big as Double or Nothing. So it definitely is the biggest one Saturday. With that being said, let's hop into the All Out predictions. So, every single time we do one of these, the card is subject to change because it happens every time. But I think it's set because we're literally like 3 days away. I think it's set. We only had one more change, and that's because John Moxley got hurt. I don't know how he got hurt. If it has something to do with Japan, I'm not there yet, so I don't know. I just know that Pac is replacing him to versus Kenny, which we'll get to that in a minute. But you ready to start these predictions?
Yep.
Where will it be? It'll be back in the Sears Center where they had All In. All In was not AEW, but it's what Cody and the Bucks ran themselves. They're going back there, same place, Sears Center in Chicago, which is a big wrestling city. First match, Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans.
I got Private Party.
Okay. Same. We don't have to do this one unless you just want to. The 21-woman casino battle royal, same thing as the one at All Double or Nothing, but it's the women. You want one for that one?
I got Evilise.
Okay, you got it. Dang it! You had to. I don't want to pick the same person, but We'll have some different ones in here because I got Evilise too.
They haven't even announced all the people in it yet, so you could choose somebody when they come out.
Right, but I had Evilise in my mind. I'm pretty sure Evilise is winning. We'll have different ones. I got Evilise too. Luchasaurus Jungle Boy Marco Stunt versus SCU.
I'll take Jungle Boy.
You take his team?
Yeah. I'll take them.
Okay. Give me that squad too. Now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say some of mine first, so I can pick some first. Because dude over here taking all the picks. You know what I'm saying?
I already have. I think that was the only one I didn't have a pick in my head for. Because I forgot what I chose, but I already have all my picks. So.
Yeah, me too. Okay, but I got Jungle Boy's team. Riho and Hikaru Shida. These are like two of the Japanese women. I got Riho.
I got Riho too.
Okay. Let's see. Best Friends versus the Dark Order. This one's kind of tough. But I'm going to go Best Friends.
I got the Dark Order.
Okay, first different one. Okay. Once again, our versus score is 4-1. So I got some coming back to do, but this I can do it right here. I can do it right here tonight, or Saturday night. Is when the show is. So Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, Joey Janela. I have Joey. He needs a win.
As do I.
Okay, yeah, he needs a win for sure. Now we're getting into some the big dogs, I guess you could say. Roman is not here, so don't worry. Cody versus Shawn Spears. Cody always has the storyline in his matches. This is going to be the best one because the whole story with Shawn, it's amazing. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Shawn.
As am I.
Okay, all right. And Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks in I forgot, Escalera de la Muerta ladder match for the AAA World Tag Team Championships. They've fought like a million times. This is the first time they will finally be going at it on a ladder match. And probably the last time. This is probably ending the feud. I'm going Lucha Bros because Young Bucks have gotten way too many wins over them in this feud. It's got to be the Lucha Bros this time.
I'm also choosing the Lucha Bros.
Okay. Kenny Omega versus Pac. Now let me say, it was going to be Kenny versus Moxley, as we know. Me and Sims have already talked about it. I think this match in the ring is going to be a better match. Pac and Kenny. I think that could be a 5-star classic right there. Just listening to those names. Who you got?
I got Kenny.
Same. Now, I know we differ here, but this would put us at 2 different matches. So I'm either gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna change my pick. I feel like it's Chris Jericho versus Hangman Adam Page to crown the first ever AEW World Champion. Who you got, Sims?
I got Jericho.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that. I know. Okay.
We can throw a stip in there because I got a stip already.
Okay. We might have to do that. But why Jericho?
It's just a little too early for me for Hangman.
Okay. Here's my idea. I know they have TV coming up. Of course, they want you to turn on the television and see Chris Jericho with the AEW Championship, someone you already know from WWE. But they're also about making new stars. That would be Hangman if he becomes the first champion. I don't think they're so worried. I mean, I know he's already a big guy, but he could be a star if he gets the title first time. You know what I'm saying? I think they are committed to making stars that people will know compared to just someone like Chris Jericho who people already know. I think Hangman Adam Page becomes the first champion. Honest opinion. So.
Okay, well, you're a little bit not flawed. I'll just give you an example. Daniel Bryan was beloved by, I would say, the same crowd that loves Adam.
Like indie fans.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he was a big star in that sense. He was big at ROH. But he reached another level when he went on a journey. He went on a chase to get the title.
Okay, Solid Monster. It's all about the chase.
I'm just saying, I feel like if you want to make a star, the better way, you essentially just went, I mean, not to quote Solid Monster exactly, but you just went the Roman Reigns route. Give him the title straight up. No, like real good journey to get in there. You know, I want to see Adam grow to that, not just give it to him on the first chance. There that goes. There goes the whole story of Adam trying to fight for his first championship. The journey.
Listen, I've went back and forth on this plenty of times. I really want to pick Jericho. But I think it's also about what he's going to do and the defense of that title. I think it's... Let me say this. AEW's main mission, this is not going to be like WWE. This title is going to be prestigious. They are going to make this title must see. This title is the most important thing in wrestling. That's what they're going to attempt to do. So, whoever that title goes on first, they are not dropping that title for a while. I don't see. So, say maybe they don't wait until the next pay-per-view, but the winner, say Jericho, if he wins, defends it however many times on television. How other many people, if wins and losses matter, how many losses does he have to give to all these people chasing before someone takes it? Because they're not going to take it quick. Or the prestige of that title is just, oh, y'all switch it around like WWE. But I see Hangman getting that title and going on a tear as the champion, beating people when you can say, dang, this kid right here is, beating some of the best. He is legit. I'm very torn. I'm 50-50. But I gotta go with Hangman.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I guess this is what it boils down to. That just doesn't appeal to me, really. I'm more interested in seeing him have to like work for it and like chase after it.
I like a good chase.
What you just said doesn't appeal to me like at all. I was listening and I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want that.
Trust me, I like a good chase. But let me tell you what else I like. I like the Okada 12 title defenses. Dude's been champ for 2 years. Wow, this is crazy. Who's going to beat him? Did you not like that? Did you not like Okada as champion? Do you not hope he does that this run as well?
That's different. Okada's established already.
Well, this is the best way to establish Hangman. The best way. Wait! What do you mean when he was established? He beat Tanahashi on his first time challenging for the championship.
Yeah,
that man was not established then.
I was talking about just now. You just said, do you want to see him go on that right now? And I was like, he's already established. But it's different with Okada. Okada wasn't. They sent that man on excursion. That man was in TNA, Stuart. They sent that man on excursion. He was not groomed to be the next guy like Adam is. So he was not waiting in the. They sent that man to TNA on excursion.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
Two different people.
Let me ask you this. Say that Chris Jericho wins the title, like you predict.
Yep.
What is your storyline going forward? How many people does he defend against? When does he lose it? How long does he keep it?
I'm not even saying the next person that has it after that has to be Hangman. That's not even what I'm saying there. I'm not saying he has to drop it to Hangman next. So I don't know when he loses it or how many people he beats. But in order to have a reign as champion, you gotta beat some people. You have to get some notches under your belt for opponents that you've defeated.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So whoever wins it is.
So he's gonna defeat people on the roster.
So
and, people can lose a championship match and then still come back and win one later.
But we're in agreement that the champion's going to have probably a lengthy run.
I don't know because I know he's already. What's your definition of lengthy? A year?
No.
I don't know if he has the title for a year.
So okay, it's August, and they said they're going to do about 4 pay-per-views a year. They said Double or Nothing's reoccurring, which means if that's true and it's at the same day, it's August and Double or Nothing was in May. If they don't do Double or Nothing again until May of next year, how many months is that between August and May?
Like 9 or something.
Okay, they could drop it on a TV show, but I think we would be closer. I think we'd be closer to having a title change at a pay-per-view. I think someone's getting.
I disagree.
I think someone's getting a lengthy run.
You see, we're having fundamental issues on what we could see happen. He's already set. I think he's set to defend it on one of the first AEW shows. There's already a defense.
But okay, say he loses it. What does that do to the prestige of the title?
You know good and well he's not losing the title on the first night, Stuart.
Okay.
Why would he lose it on his first defense? I never said that. I'm just saying he's defending it. So if he's already defending it at the very beginning, I'm sure he's going to defend it more on TV. Just like, okay, you can't have something. You can't have... Same thing that, I have the best reference in the world. So I'm going to keep quoting him. Solomonster. He said, if you have time limit draws... You have to utilize the time limit draws early so that you can establish that they have stakes and that this could happen. So if you don't establish that, when it gets defended on TV, somebody could lose the title, then nobody's gonna be like, yeah, okay, nobody's like, okay, we already know who's winning. So not the first time. But, later down the line, he's defending it on TV. I could see him losing it there.
Well, trust me, I want to pick Jericho. I
who you
would
want to win.
I would like to see either of them because I'd be fine with each storyline, the chase or the defending champ. But I something's telling me Hangman. I don't know. His family's going to be there, man. His family's going to be there.
Okay.
Listen, man.
If you want to thrust it onto somebody, thrust it onto a heel. Don't thrust it onto a babyface. Thrust it on the MJF. Give it to him if you want to put it on somebody. Let a heel do it.
Here's what will determine my pick. What is your stipulation? Because if I can't create a good stipulation, I'll pick Jericho. So we can have one difference.
Regardless, we already have differences.
But
like we've already had differences, so somebody can still win.
With this one, we've had one different match.
We've had two. You picked. I picked Dark Order. You picked.
Best Friends.
Hangman. That's two differences.
But I said because I'm in between. I can pick Jericho too. But if I pick Jericho, we don't have to have a stipulation. But if I stick with my gut and go with Hangman, we got to have a stipulation. So what is your stipulation?
We don't have to have a stipulation though. Why do we have to have a stipulation?
Because say I win Hangman and you win Dark Order, it's one apiece. It's a tie.
Okay, but you could say anything. Say you win with Best Friends and you win with Hangman. But my stip is Moxley costs Omega the match.
Well, I'll go with Hangman, and then we can still have a stip. So, regardless, there's a chance of it not being tied. So, I'm going with Hangman. And my stip is going to be... you can tell me if this is cheap. Can I say that the winner of the Women's Battle Royal will not be 21? Because Hangman was 21 and he won the Battle Royal. Is that too cheap? I can choose another one if that's too cheap. It's not going to be.
I understand, like, the significance of, like, the last person, the 21st person is going to win it.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine if I were to say, now, let me get all the way through, because imagine if I were to say, the 8th person is not going to win it. You're like, well, I'll be like, that's terrible odds. It's A versus the field. But, yeah, I'll give it to you. You can have it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I'm pretty positive that Moxley could be there for yours. So, okay.
I mean, this can end in a tie.
I know.
It is possible.
But
Hockey's have ties. And football has ties. Football has ties.
If this ends in a tie, we'll figure something else out on the next podcast to break it.
We have a tie column.
Can we have a tie column?
I mean, you really should take your tie while you can, because you're not getting a win. You're down 4-1. You're gonna take that tie so it don't become 5-1 on you.
That man's confident in all his picks, ain't he?
I basically booked AEW.
Oh my gosh. You basically booked after Solid Monster booked it. Oh my gosh, that man just pulled.
No, because this was Solid Monster just did his predictions, and I said I don't want him to skew me. So every time he names a match, I pause it, I make my pick, and then he makes his. He didn't touch me at all, and I'm pretty sure we had the same picks except for the Battle Royal, I think.
What a shocking outcome.
I mean, I guess we think alike. I don't know. It's almost sure.
Well, with that being said, we don't want to go over an hour 30. So, we had Devin on the first half of the podcast. We had our wrestling predictions. Check out this weekend. It's going to be a lot of wrestling. Going to be a lot of good wrestling. You have high hopes for all three shows? I mean, I do, of course.
I think the Japan show could potentially be the best one of all three.
If you had to, here's what I say. I'm gonna, honestly, me and you both have said that Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen were like, okay, Double or Nothing was good. But I think All Out is really going to be I think it's really going to be good. I think it's going to go probably Japan show because they never fail. All Out and then Cardiff. And it's not that NXT UK can't do something big too, but I think it's going to go like that. Japan, AEW, NXT.
Well, if you're saying that, you haven't even seen the card yet. It's a wrap already for that. The man ain't even seen the card and he's already picking New Japan? Oh, yeah. Let him see the card.
So, let me guess yours. You got the same thing? Or are you really don't have high hopes for AEW? Because I know you're a little bit harder on them than me.
Seeing how Double or Nothing could have easily been a tick lower if Moxley didn't show up. Moxley showing up,
Those matches really were good, I think.
But Moxley took it to another level. It gave it that, oh snap, like it's feeling like a TV show. I was getting that feel like, oh, I'm ready to watch next week, but there ain't no next week. It gave me that feel of like, here we go. The matches were good, yeah. Cody match was amazing, yes. Who else had the match? Kenny's match was amazing, yes. But Moxley took it to another level with that. So
yeah,
I don't know. I gotta see what they give me now. The matches look really good.
And NXT UK Blackpool was good. I mean, it was NXT Takeover quality. So Cardiff could be just as good. I don't really know the card.
It won't.
You don't think so? You seen the card?
I've seen. See, I know that match. I know I know the two matches you need to know. I don't care about the women. I don't watch them on that show.
Okay.
I know the tag match, and I know the heavyweight match.
So
it's not. It can't hold a candle.
I know the other one is. I know Walter and Tyler Bate. That's the only one I know. But
yeah.
Regardless, so you have the same one as me. The same.
Right? Yeah. AEW's gonna have to come pretty hard top. Copper box.
Okay. Well. Once again, I ain't finished the G1, but I feel bad for Zach because I don't think he gets that match at the Copper Box. That poor dude right now. He's struggling where I'm at. But not like my boy Jay White. Oh my gosh, they got Jay White 0-3. I'm about to slap somebody. What? How'd they have that man lose to all Chaos members?
That's a good behind storyline.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good behind story.
I was sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, how do they set these matches up? Like on the right weeks? Like the right person has to fight the right person on the right week, and with the points being right, with the storylines being intact, with the winners being who they are. How do they do it? The G1 is the best tournament in wrestling, hands down. I don't think anything will ever beat it. Unless, like, New Japan just makes a 180 and starts becoming complete trash, which will never happen. Nothing will ever beat the G1. I don't care how many King of the Rings WWE has.
I don't ask all monster. The King of the Rings back in the day were fun.
Well,
the old one-night tourneys.
Best of Super Juniors is great. Still don't touch the G1. I'm sorry. Sorry, Will. Will's in the G1 too, so he's fine. But once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the One Stop Shop episode 4 podcast. For Sims, I'm Stu. Watch wrestling. Watch NJPW, AEW, NXT. You can watch WWE if you want to, but we won't be. So thank you and good night or morning. Or Sims, you got anything else to say? I don't just want to ramble over here.
No, just if you made it this far, to anybody that made it this far, thank you for listening. We'll have another episode next week. And, maybe another guest next week.
Also, timestamps. Don't forget the timestamps. And thank you, everyone.